Well, we're at the upper parking lot. If you've never been here, you go past our kiosk, a couple twisty turns. It's an easy drive. Unless there's a big washout, you can even make it in a car. I am going to do something I'm not a big fan of, just because there's so many funner ways up, but for the sake of YouTube and the trails, we're gonna ride Brent and Mike's the whole way, which means that this section, which used to be some single track and is now a road, is what we will be climbing. It took many a year for it to become a road, but it's a road. Most people know I'm not a huge fan of climbing this because we have, oh heck, you could climb TNT and Sneaky Snake. You could climb Quick Draw to Mac Daddy and up. You could honestly climb Quick Draw either side, which means you could ride some or pick your poison to Quick Draw at the other side of Brent and Mike's. You could ride Cruiser to Quick Draw and then climb Mac Daddy. So yeah, I'm just not a real big fan of pedaling up this road. It's fun in its own right sometimes, but some people really like bombing down it, which, yeah, you can get going real fast. Quite a few of us would really like to put some tabletops on it. There's one of our little signs to make sure you're going the right way. We do need to order a whole new packet of colored arrows, and they need to be the color of the trail rating. I do agree. I've had multiple people tell me that. Seems like previously purchased arrows were just random. There's some pink, blue, green, yellow, black, red, orange, gray, and none of them are coordinated with anything. They're just an arrow. And yeah, hopefully we'll soon remedy that. All right. Man, what a place. If you've never been here, you're missing a lot. The views, the weather, the people, the coffee shops, bakery, breweries. And most importantly, the trails. Holy cow. What a place. Alright, here we go. See how bad the weather has made this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not too bad. That's usually the worst thing about this is very, very few people enjoy pedaling a 2-track like this. So very few people do it, which adds to a big problem. It gets loose and powdery on top. Usually you can find a spot here or there though. Hop, hop. Should have came into that with more speed, huh? But yeah, for those that really enjoy sit and spin, here it is. Oh yeah. Could be a gravel biker's paradise. Just to help challenge themselves on a climb. Mountain bikers too. You still find yourself struggling on rides to make it to the top of trails. If you're still having to take a whole lot of breaks, I've been there. Rides like this are one really good way to get that heart and those lungs up to snuff. I would highly recommend some form of heart rate monitor that you can see. You need to be able to glance at it. If you're first starting out, or even if you're still just struggling to breathe. Do the math on what your max heart rate, according to most experts, would be, which should be, if I remember right, is you take 220 and subtract your age. Gives you a good baseline. Now, I was, well, let's see, 4 years ago, I was 38. I went to climb South Hill here in Green River, which is paved. I chose that to get over the huff and puff and to get good at this because it was readily available, smooth paved road, close to my house, and a nice, really fast bomber of a road to come back down. The very first time I tried to climb it, I think I made it half a mile. My heart rate was 198. I could see it in my eyes. I could feel it in every part of my body. So I turned around, came home. It took roughly 3 weeks, if I remember right, of just trying to sit and spin my lowest gear. I wore out a cassette that year. Well, wore out first gear that year. Just because of that. Every climb, every hill, all I could do was first gear. But after 3 weeks I was to the point where I was spending half my time climbing South Hill in second gear. And then about another week of that, mind you, I didn't do this daily. I probably did it 3 times a week with other rides in between. But after a couple of weeks of really focusing, I got to where I could climb that in second gear, never touch first, and maintain a heart rate of 180 to 185. Your body does adapt even when you're older. Your heart muscle gets bigger, the volume of your heart gets bigger, so the amount of blood and therefore oxygen moving around your body at the same heart rate is now more. For a little more backstory for you, if anybody's like, man, there's no way. Believe me, I was a man, there's no way kind of guy. I was a smoker from the age of 16 to the age of 35. On the eve of my 35th birthday, I smoked my last cigarette because I decided I wanted a better life. Oh, there goes an antelope. It wasn't a month later, well, maybe 2 months later, I noticed I was packing on the pounds because I had replaced my smoking with eating. So I went and bought a little cheapo Walmart Schwinn. Started riding the green belt in Green River. The nastiness that came out of my lungs was impressive. Thought I was gonna die a few times. And then somebody said, have you ever ridden the trails? I said, what trails? They said, mountain bike trails. Green River has the best in the state. I said, news to me. I've lived here for 13 years. What are you talking about? So, all I figured was the little green trails, the easy ones, right off the green belt. These things were fun, easy. The old Schwinn didn't like it. I didn't like it. And my boss used to be pretty hot and heavy into this mountain biking stuff and these trails. He told me, go see the bike shop, bike and trike in Rock Springs. Get a real bike, ride real trails. So, June of 19, I went and looked at a couple, and yeah, like most people, I had some sticker shock. So I realized I had the funds for a $1,500 hardtail. or less. The shop at that time didn't have very much selection. They were all Trek. I'm not a fan. They make good stuff. They're just not for me. I don't like it. Is what it is. And there was some more garbage. Thank you, shooters of Wyoming. You drove back here with an AR, left all your brass on the trail. You're so cool. Merca. At any rate, I told them, hey, I'm going to Denver for my anniversary. I'm gonna test ride every single bike I can. If the one I fall in love with is the one you sell, I'll be back. And I did just that. I rode every hardtail that was under $1,500 or at $1,500 that was available to me in Denver, which I'm sure you know is several at that time. I wound up really liking the Timberjack. That Salsa Timberjack is a awesome do everything bike. Just so happened Jason had one in my size. I bought it. He took me on a ride up here to the bench on single track, and 2 years later I met people in the club. I had ridden with a few of them, so I joined. And the very first meeting I went to, the man that started the club and had been president for more than a decade was like, guys, somebody else want to be president? And old Andy, one hell of a trail builder himself, who insisted I come to that meeting, nominated me, and I walked out president. So here we are. But if you do all those steps, focus on your heart rate, try to control it without stopping, without getting off, just use your gears, learn to balance at slower speed while tired. Eventually, you find yourself climbing something like this road while talking to people, telling a story. Yeah, there were some steep spots where I probably sounded like I was gonna die if I kept talking. They go away quicker than you think, especially after you get yourself in shape. I'm by no means in athletic form. If you've ever met me, absolute dad bod. I usually start the spring off in the 230 pound mark, and by the time I'm done with hunting season, I'm down around the 200 mark. Just depends on what kind of year I had. Now I have a fat bike, and we'll be doing some of this every winter to hopefully curb that winter gain, because Tubby like his food. Oh yeah. What a morning. Yeehaw. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That'll cool you off. Shortcut for the bikes. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot the jump. My bad. Ooh, high gear. Yeah, there we go. Oh. But yeah, get out. Get after it. I'm always open for pedaling alongside you, help you keep a pace. Hit me up if you know me and want to learn. I'm a horrible teacher, but I can be a pretty good hype man. Oh baby. Yeah, see, they even come up here and play with their side-by-sides and dirt bikes. It's private property the whole way here, and there are signs posted, but as you can tell, it doesn't stop anybody. Oh well. It is what it is now. Turn a 2-track back into a single track's virtually impossible. It's still fun. The more weeds that grow up in the center, the more it turns into a almost dual slalom without the slalom, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna pull off at the bench here. The intersection of Better and Dad, or sorry, I'm a liar. The intersection of Brent and Mike's. Fast exit. Sorry, golly, I gotta stop and think. Intersection of Brent and Mike's, T&T, Mac Daddy, and original T&T, from what I'm told, aka the drop line, the drop zone, the jump line, or apparently there's somebody who comes out here and plays around and does some rogue stuff. He calls it Pearl. Anyway, I'll show you where this bench is. Then it's snack time and water time, because that was a lot of climbing. In fact, I don't know how big that climb is, but I've been riding all the way from my house, so that won't count. Here's the bench. And, ready for it? Oh, yeah. Here's why you sit at it and take it all in. Hope you enjoyed.